Hey, you guys. Today I wanted to talk about my school experience and how we had to fight for um, different things and to make sure that my program plan was being implemented and that kind of stuff. So, when I was in kindergarten, I was going to school, kindergarten, full days. And I had amazing teacher assistants um, that really helped me um, learn my best. And there are certain teacher assistants that I can't thank enough for what they've done for me. And, but, so when I was in kindergarten, I was learning what I needed to learn. And I was doing so well with working one on one with my teacher assistant. And then, as we were working together, our bond got stronger and we became close. And um, they she became part of not only my school life, but also she was part of our personal life. Like I adored her. I loved her. I still love her to this day. um but as my kindergarten as the year was wrapping up, um they wanted to take her away from me because they thought, well, they're getting close, this isn't a good thing, and whatnot. So my mom fought it. She took it to like the school board and uh, talked to like our MLA and stuff because, and she's like, my kid is finally learning, doing really well and progressing, and you want to take the one person that is helping her be successful and learn her best, you want to take that person away from her. Like, no, we're not going to do that. And so my mom, she fought it. She won the first go around. So I did kindergarten twice. So I worked with her again for another year, about a year or so. And then we wanted to see if my program assistant could, or my aide could come with me to the next grade and help me because I made so much progress. But they fought it, and they said no. And it was hard. Like, my mom, she fought it. She tried really hard. So she won the first time. And then the second time it happened, my aide called my mom and told her, like, they're not letting me. I can't even go see Brittany. I can't. Um, they're not letting me. And they said that I have to stop working with her, basically. And so my mom's like, okay, well, don't let them tell Brittany, let me tell her, because my mom knew I was going to be absolutely devastated. And I was. This lady in particular is very special to me, and she helped me so much. and I'm forever grateful for her. So then I actually ended up moving schools because it was too hard to move on from having such an amazing aide to not having. So I went and I moved schools, and then I had two amazing aides at my new school. The first aide I had, she was absolutely incredible. I loved her. We worked really well together, and then she retired at the end of my first year of grade 2. So I did kindergarten twice, and I did grade 2 twice. So year 2 of grade 2, I had another wonderful lady come into my life, and she worked with me, and we worked one-on-one, and I was progressing really, really well and doing so well in every subject. And then in grade 3, she was able to still be my aide, and she was absolutely amazing. I absolutely adored her. And so we were seeing progress, right? So then, and I got to work with her for the next 2, 3, almost 3 years. I got to work with her. She's another one that just holds such a special place in my heart, because if it wasn't for these educational assistants who absolutely loved what they did, loved their job, and loved learning, I honestly couldn't have imagined better educational assistance. I was so fortunate, and I absolutely loved them, and still do. They set me up for success. They were the reason I loved learning, but we had to fight different hurdles so that those people weren't taken away from me. And when they were taken away from me, it was very hard, but they gave me the building blocks to learn well, and I wasn't doing other work than my other classmates. I was working outside of the classroom at times because I needed more one-on-one attention with different subjects and that kind of stuff. But I was still doing the same kind of work and workload. I just had an aide that was just for me. And part of my program plan that was implemented. And so they knew that I needed that one-on-one person to work with for those early years of school. And like I said, those people they're people that I've never forgotten, people I will never ever forget, and who I truly appreciate, because it is because of them that I loved learning so much. So if you're going through something where your kid needs that one-on-one help or whatever it may be, fight it. Go to the school boards. Go to your MLAs, whatever. Because we did, and I mean, they tried to. the schools tried to make the rules for me. We fought it and we said no. Like, she needs that one-on-one person. And so what if they're close and I mean, yes, we had a good bond and whatever, but I was still working hard and I was still learning. And so why take that person that is letting the child have success? Because before these people came into my life, I wasn't making progress. So why take that person away from them? And I think, and I've always said this, like, if you love your job, especially if you're in the education system, if you're a teacher, teacher assistant, whatever, if you love what you do, it shows and it makes a difference. Because the 3 people that worked with me and they were some of my absolute favorite people in the world. I loved learning because, they came to work every day and they loved what they were doing. And it showed. They had the compassion. They had, it wasn't just they were punched into a time clock. They absolutely loved their students. And, I got to graduate school with a regular diploma. And because my program plan traveled with me from the Glenrose from kindergarten to grade 12, and I was always allowed to have the things I needed. So even though in like junior high and high school, I didn't have an aide anymore, like a one-on-one aide, but there was always an assistant in the classroom who, would write my notes for me so I could just absorb information. We had, I always had scribes and readers scheduled, ready to go for my exams. And I remember one time in high school, I was told that I wasn't going to need a scribe because there wasn't going to be much writing for this exam. So I was like, oh, okay. And then turns out there was actually quite a bit of writing. So, and I was not happy because my arm gets really sore because I can't use this arm. I can only use my left hand. So I was writing and writing and writing, but I felt like I wasn't getting my point across. So then one of my favorite teacher assistants in high school, she came to me and she asked me, she's like, why didn't you set up a scribe? And I said, because I was told that I wouldn't need it. And she was like, what? And I'm like, yeah. And so we went and talked to the lady that would help me set up scribes and readers. I told her what happened. I was not happy. My teacher assistant wasn't happy. I wasn't happy. And the lady that set everything up for me wasn't happy. And she said, Brittany, you are entitled to those things. I don't care if it's a food exam or a social exam, a math exam, whatever. If you want a scribe, you are allowed that scribe. So, and it was, so she sent my teacher an email And yeah, it was the only one time that I was denied, or whatever you want to call it. The one time I was not allowed to have a scribe. Ever since then, it was just always part of my exams, because I find that when I would write an exam, it was way easier to be able to tell somebody what my thought was and whatever, opposed to trying to write it all myself. And that's for a couple of reasons. One, then my teachers can read what I'm talking about. And two, my arm wouldn't get sore and that kind of stuff. So, but, like, we had to fight different battles to make sure that I was allowed to have those things. And I mean, even in high school, I had some wonderful teacher assistants who were like, no, just listen to the information, listen to what the teacher's talking about. Don't worry about trying to get notes down. I'll make a copy and I'll give those to you. And I mean, little things like that made such a difference for me in school. So, having a condition like cerebral palsy, there's lots of different things that you have to fight for, and you have to, and sometimes you have to fight really hard. And I'm so grateful that I had a mom who would go to bat for me, and, she would do everything she could to make sure that I had those things. And I mean, those things are what's let me have such success in school. So I just wanted to share that. And I think maybe in a future video, my mom and I will talk about this more, and we'll get her perspective. But I just wanted to make this video and share, like, it's worth fighting for, and it can be a lot, but fight it. Don't just say, oh well, fight it, because there's ways to make that stuff happen. And I'm proof of that, because I mean, I had those things. I had scribes, I had readers, I had teacher assistants who were understanding about my inability to write notes constantly, and needing to just absorb what they were talking about. So I just wanted to share this, and I hope that this helps people. And like I said, in a future video, I think I'll talk about this more with my mom and get her perspective. So, but with that, you guys, I just wanted to say thanks for watching, and I will talk to you soon. Bye, guys.